Gradual unfreezing of energy prices means that starting July 1st, we will pay even more for electricity in Poland. How much more? 30% more we'll see on our bills. And it's unclear whether the bill the government is preparing will protect us from this. The Ministry of Climate and Environmental Protection doesn't know as well. Today, I took a closer look at it. This is absolutely 20-something to 30% in the worst possible case. But we are still looking at what to do to lower this level. That is, not 30 zloty more on electricity bills, as Minister Paulina Henning-Kloska wrote earlier, but 30% more. This social media post disappeared in a flash after internet users pointed out the minister's inaccurate calculations. The minister explains it this way. We are averaging the price. By averaging the price, we make it so that the bills of those who use the least electricity may increase slightly. The fact is that as of July, the previous frozen lower electricity rates will no longer apply. The new law provides for the averaging of prices for households to the level of 500 zloty per megawatt hour. How does this translate into electricity bills? If we look at the price of energy itself, there is an increase of 9 Polish groszy per kilowatt hour. That's how much the price of energy will increase. Poles are already shuddering at the thought of higher bills. If it included energy increases alone, maybe we would manage somehow. Just what does this entail? Of course, increases in other items, because virtually everything is related to energy. I can't imagine a sudden price increase for most food items. I will cut back, literally. We should get out of this Green Deal, and then energy prices will be lower. The opposition is sounding the alarm that those in power have not extended the price freeze in effect until July 1st in order to give relief to fellow citizens. Law and Justice has submitted a bill to help Polish people and is supposed to stop these galloping prices. The current government is allowing electricity and gas bills to be so high. It is completely uninterested in this. The problem is that the energy grant will only be available to a small minority, even among the low income. For single-person households, it will be 300 zloty with a gross income of 2,500 zloty, which is much less than the minimum monthly wage. Electricity and heat are not luxuries, Paulina Matysiak wrote. They are the basis of existence. The government must raise the energy grant. Otherwise, thousands of people will not be able to afford their bills. 300 zloty a year for the announced benefit is not enough help. Why didn't the government extend the energy price freeze, still in effect until July? Politicians won't say it directly, but regardless of the side of the argument, everyone didn't want to extend the energy price freeze because we have budget problems. As of July 1st, it will probably be more expensive in the energy market by several tens of zloty per month, due to the fact that the maximum price will remain, but at a higher ceiling. On the other hand, consumption caps will be removed. The climate minister confirms that the relief depends on the decision of the finance minister, and we will pay the bills out of our own pockets. The health condition of Slovak Prime Minister Robert Fico is assessed by doctors at Roosevelt Hospital in Bańska Bystrica as severe but stable. On Monday, a special medical commission, basically a consortium of specialists, will meet to assess the Slovak Prime Minister's health, and then a decision will possibly be made to transport Robert Fico to a hospital in Bratislava. So we will have to wait and still be patient for this decision. In a few dozen hours, we will know a little more. This information that is reaching journalists here, who are waiting outside the hospital in Bańska Bystrica, is residual. There is a media cordon, an information cordon. No press conference was held today where we would have heard about the details of Prime Minister Robert Fico's health.
będzie uzależniona od decyzji lekarskiego konsylium, które ma...
The patient is now conscious, but remains in the intensive care unit. His condition is still very serious. Everything is progressing as expected. His condition is still very serious, but the latest operation will speed up the healing of his gunshot wounds. We will see how the situation will develop. I have never seen a stronger man than Robert Fico, and that's why I believe in him.
Wielu na Słowacji zastanawia się,
Many in Slovakia are wondering why this tragedy happened. Many also do not rule out the possibility that it was an assassination attempt carried out on commission. The assassin, 71-year-old Juraj C., who has already heard a charge of attempted premeditated murder. He faces a prison sentence of 25 years to as much as life imprisonment for the crime.
do nawet dożywocia.
Michałowo Town Park in the Podlasie province of Poland. This is where the bas reliefs stand, which depict border guard officers refusing to allow a group of people, including children, to cross the border. After all, are we good or are we bad? Here, some people don't understand it. They don't know what this monument is about and what it stands for. Because one bas relief depicts a guard letting in a refugee, most likely from Ukraine, while the other depicts a guard not letting in people who resemble illegal migrants from Belarus. A lot of things I don't like, but that's just my opinion. I would say something, but I will refrain from it. Permission to erect the sculptures was given by Michałowo mayor Marek Nazarko, who was elusive today. The mayor, practically from the beginning of the border crisis, sided with the organizations that attacked the border guard. It was he who invited celebrities associated with the civic platform to the border, standing firm in defense of migrants. Reactions are overwhelmingly very negative. It's a picture completely opposite to the one currently being presented by the civic platform. Its leader, Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk, portrays himself as a defender of the borders, declaring his full support for the border guard and his desire to strengthen the wall on the border. This is an excerpt from Donald Tusk's May 11th statement. We talk about the pressure of illegal migration, but what we are really dealing with is an ongoing hybrid war. And this is Donald Tusk from 3 years ago, when Belarus artificially created a crisis on the border. The former opposition leader inserted himself directly into the narrative of poor women and children, a narrative at the hand of Lukashenko and Vladimir Putin. These are poor people who are looking for their place on earth. Along with him, civic platform politicians and some celebrities criticized Law and Justice for defending the border, stirring up mud against border guard officers. Let these people into Poland finally. Who they are will be determined later. All the activities that are related to migration, I'm proud of them, because I think that, for example, the fact that the barrier will not be financed with EU money, with the Commission's money, is a success. Michałowo is located just 10 kilometers in a straight line from the Polish-Belarusian border, where a migration crisis erupted in 2021, triggered by Belarusian and inspired by Russian services. The purpose of bringing thousands of illegal migrants from the Middle East and Africa was to try to destabilize our country. Law and Justice acted very responsibly in this matter. A project was quickly developed, and a barrier was put up at the border. We have won the hybrid war that Belarus started. For months, when the civic platform was in opposition, Tusk deliberately and cynically lied to Polish public opinion and falsified the picture. All indications are that Donald Tusk is guided solely by what opinion polls show. They show that 84% of Poles expect the Polish government to significantly strengthen the border with Russia and Belarus. Łukasz Muda, TV Republika. An electric aircraft took to the skies of Tokyo for the Japanese capital's first manned demonstration of the technology. The Hexa aircraft, produced by U.S. firm Lift Aircraft, carried out a demonstration flight as part of a startup and innovation conference being held in Tokyo. Lift Aircraft describes the Hexa as being an aircraft that anyone can fly, that uses electrical vertical takeoff and landing technology.
Very, very simple. The computer handles most of the details, including fighting the wind. So when wind comes along, the aircraft will hold the aircraft against it for you. So all you do is say, I want to go forward, and the aircraft goes forward. Press a button to take off, press a button to land. Very simple.
According to Lift Aircraft, the Hexa has 18 independent electric motors and propellers for stable, controlled flight, and is capable of landing on both land and water thanks to its 5 floats. It weighs only 432 pounds, or about 196 kilograms, due to its carbon fiber airframe, and is equipped with safety features, including an autonomous ballistic parachute, ability to fly and land safely even with up to 6 motors disabled.